He is the UFC interim heavyweight champion of the world, coming off a 1-minute knockout over Curtis Blaydes. I got a lot to talk about with this guy. It is my pleasure to welcome in today Tom Aspinall. Tom, how are you?
Doing all right, thanks. It's actually very hot in the UK at the moment, so enjoying the sun a little bit. It's very nice.
No rain today, is what you're telling me.
No rain. Beautiful place today.
I love it. Well, let me just open by saying, of course, congratulations on another fight, another title defense. I know you never go into a fight thinking it's going to be a 1-minute knockout. You go in there ready for 5 rounds, an absolute war. But is it satisfying or more gratifying, all the training and hard work you put in, that you are able to get rid of a guy like Curtis Blaydes in 1 minute?
Yeah, it's nice. It is nice. To be honest, in all honesty, I thought this was going to be a long fight. I didn't mean to knock him out so early. But with big guys with their little gloves on and with how accurate I am, it just takes one, man. I was expecting a long, drawn-out battle between me and Blaydes, but it wasn't. So I'm happy. I'm happy that everyone came out healthy.
How many heavyweights do you think are going to start soaking their knuckles in petrol now that you showed them your secrets?
Don't know. I'm not sure. There might be a few. I think there might be a few.
I love it. You obviously listen. I know this was running back that fight with Curtis you guys had a few years ago. The injury happened in that fight, and I know like you and Curtis were almost, I would say, friends in a way. Like I know Curtis told me flat out he didn't count that as a win. He didn't really count it as a fight. He was glad to get it back, of course. But do you feel like this does kind of settle things? Like there was nothing really to settle to begin with because it was 15 seconds and you injured your knee. But do you feel like this just kind of puts the whole Curtis Blaydes thing to bed?
Yeah, it does. It does. Like you say, Curtis is a good guy, man. I've got nothing against him personally, but professionally, I didn't like it. Like it's my only blip on my record in the UFC, and I didn't want it to go. I didn't want it to go down that way, obviously. So I'm happy to get the win and put it to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, coming out of that, like the run you've been on, and again, you can't predict how fights are going to go. You can't predict the run you're on. But when you look, I assume you probably don't sit around on your phone all day looking at your record or anything like that. But do you, you have to be like pretty impressed that like the run you've been on, not only how dominant you've been, but like the guys you've been going through and the way you've been going through them. People generally don't do what you're doing right now at heavyweight because you know how volatile this division is. One wrong move and you're the guy face down on the canvas.
Yeah, well, it's not that people don't usually. People never do it. What I'm doing, and that's just a fact. Like you say, you can look through all the records and that stuff. Not with me who's doing this kind of thing, but I mean, skill for skill, I think I'm way better than everybody else. In all honesty, but I can still lose definitely. But it just takes one, and I seem to be able to land that one quicker than the other person lands the one. So. We'll keep it going as long as we can.
Yeah, I know. Like over the last year or so, you've really gotten active in your building your YouTube channel. And I was watching the video I know you have going up today, talking about like the night before, and like you were talking about like being nervous and actually like for a moment being like, I'm going to lose this fight because you got nervous, your stomach was hurt, things like that. In a weird, like, has that process, like allowing people to see a different side of you that's not just these interviews, things like this, has that been fun? Has that been a help in a way? Because it seemed like you were almost talking through it in that moment. And obviously the fight went incredible. So like, has that been helpful? Has it been nice to kind of let people see that side of you?
It's not really a conscious effort to let people see that side of me. It's really organic in the fact that the guy who does my YouTube channel, he's one of our best friends. So, we're just kind of speaking like friends with a camera there. So it's not like, I don't say it like, I'm going to show the world this. It's just, we're just talking and it happens kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I always find it quite freeing to be able to speak about my emotions. I always feel better after I'm open to people about it. So I have no issues with saying how nervous I am about a fight. It's not something that I have issue with. I'm nervous, more and more nervous every time, to be honest. And I keep performing better and better, so I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know more than one fighter has said this, but it's almost like I've heard a lot of people say if you're not nervous, something's wrong. Like you almost feel like you need to be nervous before a fight. You're about to go in there and fist fight another dude who's going to try to knock you out, take everything from you. Like he's like, I can't remember who said it originally, but they're like, you should be nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I do not want to get knocked unconscious in front of millions of people. I'm afraid. I don't know. If you do, that's if you like that risk and you're happy with it, then fair play. But me personally, I'm a bit nervous about that, and I don't want that to happen. So I don't want to get beat up in front of millions of people. So that's why I'm nervous.
Hey, if the UFC wants to pay me a few $1,000,000, I'll let you knock me out for a lot of money. Like that's totally cool. I could use the money. That's fine.
I mean, for me, winning is equally as important as the money. So it's not just about the money. I'm like, I want to win. I want to win as well. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to win fights and stay conscious and make money is what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely. Can I ask you, Tom, did you see during fight week this video resurfaced from 2016 where you're sitting next to Tommy Fury and you were talking about going into boxing? You said MMA was just, wasn't really paying off financially, things like that. Did you see that video? Because it's wild where people can dig through the internet and find things like that.
Yeah, I've seen it recently. I mean, I'm off social media at the moment. I've been off social media for quite a while, but a couple of people sent it me on WhatsApp. So I've seen the video. I remember the video, of course. It wasn't too long ago. I think it was about 8-9 years ago, something like that. But yeah, that was the situation at the time. Was I was trying to box because I couldn't make any money at the time out of MMA, but obviously went back to MMA and things worked out pretty good. So I ain't complaining.
Yeah, but I think you did have a boxing match after that. So, I mean, it was a serious pursuit. I know we live in this world now where everyone wants to do this crossover thing. Do you ever want to do boxing again, or are you just happy being UFC champion?
Yeah, if they, depends on the money, to be honest. If they want to pay me like 10, 15 million, like they're paying these other guys, absolutely, I'll do it. But right now, my focus is being the best heavyweight MMA fighter in the world. Maintaining that for a while. So I'd never say never, but right now that's not really my focus.
Yeah. So now coming out of it, Tom, listen, I'm going to ask about it. Everyone's going to ask you about it. It's the subject everyone wants to talk to you about, which is, where you go from here, which of course we all imagine, hopefully, would be the Jon Jones fight. But we can only talk about this so much before you probably just get sick of mentioning his name because we just don't know. We know Jon's probably going to fight Stipe in November. I know that Cyril Gane and Alexander Volkov are fighting, I think, in October. Where is your head at? Like, do you want to fight again this year? Are you just kind of like waiting for the Jones Stipe fight to happen before you do anything else? Like, what is your trajectory coming out of your win over Curtis Blaydes?
I don't know what's happening. Like that's kind of out of my hands. All I know that the next fight is going to be for an undisputed title. That's it. I won't do anything else. My next fight, I'll fight anybody, as always, as I have done throughout my whole career. You can ask any of the UFC matchmakers that. But right now, I'm the best UFC heavyweight in the world, and I'm fighting for undisputed title next.
So I'll admit this openly as we talk today, Tom. I was a holdout on our rankings. I still had Jones ranked number 1 until this fight. I said, I can't do it anymore. I got to put Tom number 1. You are the number 1 heavyweight in the world. You are the best heavyweight in the world. I'll admit it. I was a holdout, and now I even have you ranked number 1. So even I'll admit you are the best heavyweight in mixed martial arts right now.
Yeah, well, it's a fact. It's a fact. And Jon got one win in the heavyweight division. I got 9 all finishes. So 8, I think, all finishes. I'm not sure, but I've done a lot more. I'm not saying my resume is better than Jon Jones's because it isn't. It's not even close. He's way better than me. But as far as heavyweights go, I'm the best heavyweight in the world.
So let me just ask you bluntly, Tom, because you've been very respectful towards Jones. In moments when maybe he wasn't even respectful towards you. He said things like, why would I fight Tom Aspinall? What does it really do for me? Blah, blah, blah. Is there a part of you, and maybe you don't, maybe you totally don't, that's fine. Is there any part of you that feels like Jon Jones doesn't want to fight you for fight reasons, meaning there's more risk in fighting Tom Aspinall than there is fighting a guy I love Stipe. Stipe's a legend. We all like Stipe, but fighting Stipe, or even, I know people say, what about Alex Pereira? There's far more risk in fighting Tom Aspinall. So I hate to use the word scared. I don't like to use that word, but is there any party that feels like there is an element of that in why Jones seemingly doesn't want to fight you?
Yeah, of course. Jon Jones is not an idiot, even though he might act like it sometimes. He's not unintelligent. He like, as you say, Stipe, one of the best heavyweights, if not the best heavyweight of all time. Stipe is also 43 years old, coming off a 3-year layoff, and his last fight was a knockout loss. You know what I mean? So obviously he's going to want to take that fight before me because it's easier, way easier, way easier. And he knows that I'm the tougher fight for him. Like I say, I'm not going to say he's scared of me because he isn't, but he's smart in his approach, and he's gonna fight Stipe before me every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I know after the fight, Dana had mentioned, Tom Aspinall maybe the backup for that fight, and while I do understand the notion of that, I was almost in a way like almost disrespectful the way I felt about it because you are a champion, and it almost seems like is it really your place to be stepping in as a backup for a fight like that? So do you have any interest in that, or you don't even want to even because you versus Jones or even Stipe for that matter is a very big fight. I almost feel like as a champion it would be almost disrespectful to say, "Hey man, come weigh in, be here, fight week just in case you could fight." Do you have any interest in that?
Yep, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll do that, and I'd fight them guys on an hour's notice if they needed me to. I could listen, mate. I can beat both of these guys, no problem. No problem. If I've got to do it on a day's notice, I can do it easily. So I'll be there, take my opportunity if it presents itself.
Yeah. So in your heart of hearts, I know this is almost an impossible question to answer, but I have to ask it because that's just how this sport goes. We all know the rumors, Jones may retire. Jones, I can't figure him out sometimes. Sometimes he's like, oh, I want to keep going. I want to do this. Sometimes it's like, maybe this is his last one. I don't know. In your heart of hearts right now, as we sit here today on August 1st, do you believe you will fight Jon Jones at some point, whether it's next year, 9 months from now, 10, whatever the timeline is? In your heart of hearts, do you believe Jon Jones will ever fight you?
I have no idea. I like to think he would, but we don't know. At this point, is Jon Jones even fighting Stipe? We don't know. We have no idea. So, like you say, Jon Jones is a bit of an unusual guy. You don't see what you get with Jones. You don't get what you see. Sorry, he's a tricky, slimy, snaky. He does different movements. He says one thing, does another. So I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah. But in your heart of hearts, just like I said earlier, like even the holdouts, the guys who said, "Oh, Dana." I know Dana has touted Jones a lot. I get it. But at the end of the day, which by the way, I loved your pound for pound rant during media day. I absolutely enjoyed that because I have a lot of feelings on the whole pound for pound thing myself. But you believe right now, like even though you're technically the interim champion, there's no doubt in your mind you are the best heavyweight in the UFC, and whether you're undisputed or not, you believe absolutely you are the best heavyweight in the UFC. Jon Jones, Stipe, whoever, you are the best.
I am the best. I beat all the contenders, man. That means I'm the best. To me, that means I'm the best. You beat all the contenders. You're the best in the world, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tom, man, I think what you've done, this run you're on, is incredible. It's just kind of awe inspiring to see what you're doing at heavyweight. Because Curtis said something to me before the fight, which is absolutely true. He's like, you almost have to judge heavyweights differently because there's so much danger being a heavyweight. Where you could just make one wrong move, get caught with a left hand or right hand, and it's over for you. The win streak's over, titles, all these kind of things. Almost you have to be judged differently. So to do what you're doing right now to heavyweight is pretty remarkable. I know you're not sitting there patting yourself on the back saying, thanks, man. But honestly, it is. It's pretty incredible what you've been doing in the UFC.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I say, it's not as easy as it might seem from the outside. It's tough game that we're in.
Yeah, I saw the last thing I'll get you out of here on this, Lee. I saw obviously you were in incredible shape for the fight. You had the 6-pack rip. Now, be honest, when the fight was over, were you happy to finally get some normal food again?
Yeah, but you know what? I had 2 days off, and I've been back in the gym since Tuesday. So I'm married to the game, man. I'm in the sport to be the best ever. So back on the diet. I lifted weights this morning. I'm good to go. I'm good to go again whenever they want me.
Yeah, I love it. And because of timing, like I said, there's a good chance we probably won't see you again this year, but I imagine you're just going to stay ready in case, as we said, like we don't know. You said we don't know. Nothing's signed right now. So we don't know. Maybe you're going to fight Jones in November. So I imagine you're just staying ready for that next opportunity for, as you said, the undisputed title.
Yep. You give me more time, I'll be more ready. This was nothing compared to the version of me, what I'll be next time. So these guys think it's a good idea to have me holding out. It's a bad idea, man. The more time you give me, the better I'm going to get.
I love it. Well, Tom, it's a pleasure talking to you, man. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, congratulations again on the win. I would say enjoy some downtime, but you've already told me you're not getting downtime. You're already back in the gym. So congrats on the win, man. Enjoy it. And thank you so much for doing this today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I'll speak to you soon.